Hello, everyone. So before I start, I would like to express my great honor to present in today's conference. And some information about myself. My name is Quinn Lê, and I'm currently an English instructor at the British Council in Vietnam. And during my 10 years of experience working in the ELT industry, in Vietnam, I have encountered hundreds of students reaching out to me and asking me to teach them IELTS as a solution for them to bridge the gap between their language proficiency and their academic performance. And to be honest, I was exactly the person that thought IELTS could help me um, getting better at academic writing at a university. But of course, after so many proper trainings and researching and reading, and of course, teaching experience, I can be more thoroughly understand the difference. Um, However, what concerns me is why after 15 years, this perception still exists, and even with increasing volume. So I would like to bring back Professor Bell's observation in his speech yesterday that we don't seem to learn from the lesson from the history, and that I would like to stand here today with my topic, Mismatches Among Stakeholders' Perceptions in the IELTS Academic and English for Academic Purpose, to bring your attention to this problem. But before I start, I would like to say that this presentation is a result of my observation as a practitioner, and that this project is still in progress. So to put things in context for Vietnam, so the internationalization of higher education in Vietnam has led to a growing interest in and implementation of EMI. And in addition, since 2008, Vietnamese Ministry of Education and Training has shown evident interest, and thus the same growing interest can be found with the students taking IELTS. And against this backdrop, I have two questions. So number one, what is the student's perception of the IELTS EAP relation at higher education in Vietnam? And the second one, what are the different stakeholders' perceptions of this relationship? And as you can see here, many studies have shown weak prediction level of the IELTS score for students' academic performance. And more and Morton even suggest that IELTS writing test 2 should better be considered for public non-academic genres. And actually, after attending the plenary speech yesterday, I really look forward to Professor Bell's forthcoming book to add one more supporting source for my research. So, what are the students' perceptions of the IELTS EAP relation of this? So I have conducted a survey asking students how they perceive the term academic. So my findings so far has been that the majority of the students, especially among the first year, equate academic in IELTS academic with EAP. And most of them reason that academic is directly translated as học thuật, which generally means the results of studying and researching. This suggests to me that maybe this might just be a discourse problem, but then why the problem remains unsolved? So it presses me to further question what informs their perceptions of IELTS EAP relationship. And I have found out that the students are easily influenced by social media, especially IELTS English groups. And in this public sphere of information, students are exposed to different constructs of definitions, and some of which can be misleading. And following is my framework for possible stakeholders' perspectives that can influence students. So first, we'll talk about the government. So Vietnamese government used IELTS score as an optimal solution for the new admission method, in which the IELTS holders are offered several priorities, including direct admission to some top universities, or they are even exempted from their first year of EAP programs. So you can see IELTS isn't considered as a golden ticket to enter university. And secondly, many English centers in Vietnam promote IELTS as a test that can improve students' critical thinking skills, which are crucial for their academic performance. However, there is no actual clear impact on their academic performance. And then the thing is, most of the IELTS teachers and trainers like me, we often find ourselves under the pressure of time constraints and then test outcomes that we have to drive students' attention to tips and strategies using IELTS band score descriptors. So to us, the IELTS test has turned out to be more like a list of bullet points that need to be checked. And some of my colleagues would rather refer teaching IELTS as something that I forced to do, or like am asked to do. So in addition to this, it is also worth questioning whether the Vietnamese higher education institutions are really ready for EMI. Most institutions, especially those in public sector, have no clear structure for quality control between EAP and EMI, but assume that they are one and put all the pressure on either the EAP teachers or the lecturers. And the IELTS is used as a way to compensate for any gaps that students might have before or during their academic course. I want to say that this mismatch in interpretation has an adverse effect on students' motivation, expectations, and learning approaches. And I believe that the level of this effect should be further studied. And in conclusion, it is undeniable that higher education in Vietnam has made some positive transformation in terms of transitioning from ELT to EAP or EMI, but definitely not the same for the students, the center of the framework, as you can see here. And after attending the plenary sessions and some parallel sessions this morning, I believe this is not only the problems in Vietnam, but also other developing countries. And therefore, I'm happy to stand here with the hope that I can interact with more teachers, sharing the same concerns to further discuss this problem. And yeah, this is the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for keeping to time, and let's welcome the next speaker.